What's up guys, Frankie here. This is the Money Resolution where we resolve to get good with money. So your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. And in today's video, I'm going to demonstrate exactly how you can determine your net worth. And before we get started, why is it important to know your net worth? First of all, I think your net worth is the most accurate representation of your current financial standing. And it's really important to see the clear, full picture. Otherwise, you can't learn from past mistakes and you can't improve your situation in the future without knowing where you currently stand and where you want to go. Now, of course, your net worth will come into play when thinking about any kind of major loans like a mortgage for a house. Recently, I put out a video talking all about January tips. One of the first things I challenge you to do would be to determine your net worth. So if you want more of a breakdown as to what your net worth is, I would definitely recommend you check out this video here. I mentioned that you could definitely determine your net worth via an Excel spreadsheet, logging into all of your accounts and sort of figuring it out manually. But what I actually recommend is that you use some sort of software or program. I recommended Mint or Personal Capital for that purpose. And I was thinking last night, I really shouldn't recommend something without actually doing it myself. So in today's video, I am going to determine my net worth using Personal Capital from scratch. And just for fun, I'm gonna time it and see exactly how long it took me to figure this out. I actually track my net worth using Betterment. This is where I have a couple of accounts, and so it just makes sense for me to do it there. But if I were starting from scratch, I would recommend going the Personal Capital route. So if that's what you're doing, I'm gonna walk you through sort of step by step, as much as I can. Obviously, you have to keep a lot of information private and that kind of thing. I were to log into Betterment right now, we're gonna see what Betterment is showing me. And hopefully at the end of this exercise, we're gonna get my personal capital to look very similar, if not exact. So I can see that my net worth is $32,239 and of course 60 cents. And if I click see breakdown, it tells me all of my investments, all my external cash investments, debts, other, and you can see the debts is a really big number, and that's my student loans. I think it's 19 accounts that I need to link, and that might sound like a lot, but I think 4 of them are gonna link at the same time, which is my student loans. I also have 4 credit cards. I have my HSA, my Acorns account, my brokerage account at TD Ameritrade, which is also where I keep my Roth IRA. And then of course I have accounts connected to Betterment, so I'm gonna need to connect Betterment to Personal Capital. So last night it took me about 3 minutes to find the Personal Capital app in the App Store, to install it, to create my account, and to connect my bank, which has my checking and my savings, through my local credit union. I was gonna continue from there, but I realized when I tried to link my first credit card, it didn't have my information auto-saved. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do this in the morning where all my information is saved on my personal computer, and it's gonna make this a lot more quick and efficient. Plus, why not film it for the channel? So I'm not totally starting at ground zero here, so I'm gonna add 3 minutes to the clock now. Open up the stopwatch and go ahead and hit start. We're gonna type in Personal Capital. Menu, get started. Let's go ahead and sign in. They're gonna ask to text my phone. Asking me for a device-specific password, which I think is kind of interesting and kind of cool. So now you can see that I'm in here and it has my checking and savings account, and this says my net worth is $1,879. And so we're gonna go ahead and click the plus icon, and we see a whole bunch of popular options show up, and here's where you'll just start typing any of your specific accounts. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna do student loans last. So it's gonna look really nice for a while, and then it's gonna bring me down. I have 2 credit cards through Chase. It's also not autofilling through my computer. All right, I just clicked link at 210. You just linked your 3rd account. Average users like you link 6 accounts, way to go. I'm gonna log in again through Chase. I have to log into both separately. I'm not sure if everyone has to if you have more than one Chase account. Additional security information. So we're gonna go ahead and hit submit. It's giving me a minute and a half or so. So I should be getting another text message. Temporary ID is going in there. I'm hitting submit. So I have one establishing secure connection, and now it looks like both of them are. So it seems to be a little confused because I have 2 Chase accounts. And while those are running in the background, I'll move on. We're at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Next up, I'm gonna link my Capital One. So specifically, it's the venture. They have banking, investing. I guess it's just through the bank. I'm probably overthinking this. Congratulations, you've linked your fifth. And usually this is where it processes or asks for you to verify, and it's interesting that it's not doing that. It's just automatically, as soon as I hit submit, saying success, which is a little bit misleading. Here's one chase card, and here's another, and they're different. I don't know why they both say negative 1649. That seems fishy. Well, we'll come back to this. The balances should be at or around 0 because I always pay my credit cards off every single month, as should you. Next up, I'm gonna do Ally Bank while it's thinking about Cap One. So Ally should be pretty straightforward. This is my online only high interest savings account. Congratulations. Betterment shows up as an option here. No. Run investment checkup. Betterment looks like it's processing. Ally Bank needs attention. That's not good because I know my Ally Bank. Betterment's also give me an issue. Make sure you're using the credentials. Well, this isn't going well. I'm having a hard time getting into connecting Betterment and Ally. I guess we'll move on from there. TD Ameritrade. I think the lesson here already is you need to be patient. Definitely carve out, I would say, a solid hour, just depending on how many different accounts and how organized you are going into this. We're at 9 minutes, 40 seconds. That doesn't look right. It has 3 credit cards for Chase. I don't even know what this one is. That's not even mine. Okay, it looks like TD Ameritrade linked, so that's good. This is my Roth, and this was a rollover IRA. So we're still having issues with, it says TD Ameritrade, but that looks like it's good to go. We're at 12 minutes. We're gonna try Acorns next. We'll see if that goes through. In the meantime, we'll try the next one, which is Empower Retirement. Starting to have too many windows open. Empower Dash Retirement, so I need to know, there's a lot of options. I need to know the exact website. Okay, we'll see if Empower Retirement went through. Next up, I don't want to do Nelnet just yet. So it's still working on Acorns and Empower. We're at 14 minutes, 10 seconds, plus the 3 minutes from last night, of course. It looks like my BECU is good to go. My TD Ameritrade connected right away. I think there's just an error with Chase credit card. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove one. So credit, I'm still missing 2, although one of them I don't use at all. It's at 0, so I may not link it for the purpose of today. Acorns is still thinking. Empower, enter below mail/phone. So Empower Retirement's asking for my phone number right here in the UI. I can't figure out what's wrong with these others. Betterment now says still importing, so that's good. Enter 1, text 2 to call. 1, submit. Betterment still doesn't like it. The lesson here, 16.5 minutes in, is this is a little bit longer of a process than I thought, but the honest truth is it's because of all the extra security, which is a good thing for my own protection. And when you're figuring out your net worth, again, just set aside some time and be very, very patient. So now that I have my code, there we go, right here. So that's being submitted now to Empower Retirement. This number should jump up quite a bit now. So I'm down to 3 that are having issues. Yeah, I know Ally is correct. So with some of these, I wonder if there is just time needed for the account to connect or verify. So maybe this is overnight, for example. It's a Tuesday, so it's not the weekend or anything like that. Okay, just saw my net worth jump way up, so something connected. It looks like Empower Retirement and Acorns is now connected, so that's great. It has 84,000 in my investments. Over here in Betterment, it says I have 91,000 in investments, so we're getting a lot closer. Betterment's just not having it today. Same with Ally Bank. So I was able to link my personal checking and savings account to my credit union. My TD Ameritrade, it just one login, has 2 of my accounts linked to it. Acorns, no problem. I'll just go ahead and log into Nelnet. Let me confirm. That looks correct. So here's where my net worth, actually it'll still be positive, but just by a couple of $1,000s until I can get into the other ones. Oh, and we're at 23, so 26 total minutes invested into this project so far, and we're getting there. That's it for tonight. I'm gonna try this again in the morning, so to be continued, and make sure you stick around to the end. I'll give you my ultimate recommendation with personal capital. All right, it is the next day, and at this point I am just throwing out the timer because before I hit record on this video, I actually spent a good hour or so sort of digging into the issues I ran into yesterday And I solved one. The Capital One credit card issue was actually user error, so that was my bad on the password. But doing some more research, I actually found out that a lot of the issues I was running into are actually known issues with the connections. So ultimately, that's a bit of a bummer, but I'm glad that I figured it out. I'm glad they're very transparent about it. So let's jump back into the platform today and I'll sort of show you what is going on and how I got here. So at the end of yesterday, I connected the Nelnet accounts and you can see those showing up here at negative 86,000, but here is where I gotta point something very strange out. If you actually add up these 4 accounts, the total is closer to 83,000. So I'm not really sure why it's saying negative 86,326. And I figured this out by going over here to Betterment, where you can see that it says negative 83,547. So I compared the two side by side, the numbers matched exactly. I determined it was actually the math here that is incorrect. So that right there worries me, and right off the bat, I just don't know yet if I can recommend Personal Capital. Maybe it'll resolve itself in a couple hours or tomorrow, but certainly a strange bug there. Here's Capital One. As I mentioned, I was able to solve that user error. There's no balance there. It didn't impact my net worth. Under investments, you're gonna see a whole bunch that were just added manually at this point. So I would have to go in there every other day or week or so and update those accounts, which is also very frustrating. Here you'll see Acorns, and I already had Acorns on here yesterday. So what I realized is that one of the Acorns accounts did not show up in here. So I had to do that manually. Betterment, again, would not connect. This didn't show up on their known issue list, so I'm not really sure what the issue is there, but I just went ahead and added those manually. Same with my HSA through Primera, so I added that in. Everything else should be there, I wanna say, from yesterday. My bank account went down. I got hit with a student loan charge literally overnight, so of course that will impact my net worth. And I manually added my Ally bank account, which is one of the known issues here, at just over 14,000, and this Tip Yourself app that I use on my phone for some spare change. So at the end of the day, or rather 3 days now, I have determined my net worth to be right around 29,000 in Personal Capital. And if we compare that to Betterment, Betterment is showing $31,593. I like that number a lot more, so I'm gonna go with that one, but also it's more accurate. Otherwise, between Betterment and Personal Capital, all of the numbers do align exactly for the most part. I guess the only exception is under investments, since my investments are changing almost every minute. I'm not sure if these are syncing every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hour, etc. I haven't explored all the other tools. I think in the future I might make another video of sort of 90-day follow-up or something like that, giving you my full review of Personal Capital and letting you know if it's something that I do ultimately recommend you use as a budgeting, planning, wealth management sort of tool. But I do like the interface a lot. I do think that the added security is a good thing, even though it causes some hurdles to jump over. It does look like it's packed with all sorts of planning resources. I even found a blog on here earlier today poking around. So I hope this how-to video was useful and you got some value out of this. I hope you're excited to go ahead and determine your net worth. I don't care how you do it. You could do it through Personal Capital. You could do it manually. The fact is, knowing your net worth is extremely powerful. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like this, or maybe a comparison between Personal Capital and Mint. Other than that, you know the usual. If you are not subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you did so. I put out personal finance videos roughly once a week or so. Also, be sure to like the video if you got some value out of this. It helps other people find it. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Also, on a side note, I gotta say, just noticed my investments at 99,964, and by this time tomorrow, that could hit 6 figures for the first time ever. So I'm just insanely proud of that. I think I probably started at, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 about 3 years ago. So I promise you, anyone can do it. It just takes a lot of hard work and commitment. 6 figures. That's just